for Andrea Keenan. I thought you weren't going to get up there. So, right, here we go. I need to... very clever. Right, hang on. Let me just give you this microphone. So, there we are. That should... Can you try that out?
Hello?
It's working. Right. So, Andrea, now I'm just going to... I need to get these bits of paper. You've been to the Bavell before, haven't you?
I have.
You have, yeah. So just lift that a little bit higher. Okay, so Andrea has told me something that is true about herself, and I have made up something that's not true about Andrea. And I've written these two things down on these bits of paper, okay? I'm going to offer these bits of paper, I'm going to offer the bits of paper to Andrea. She's going to choose one and read it out, okay? So one's going to be true, one's going to be false. If it's Andrea's true fact, or my true fact, whatever, if it's a true fact, then she has to make you think that it's false. If it's her false fact, she has to make you think that it's true. Does that make sense? She's going to bluff you, okay?
I'm glad it makes sense to you.
The only rule is that if I read out her true fact, she can't lie, okay? She can only lie if it's the false one, okay? Right. I think we need a drum roll, okay? That's very good. That's good. That's good. Okay. So pick one of these. Okay. So pick that. Have a little read. And then when you're happy... when you're happy, if you could read it out.
I was airlifted out of the Blue Mountains.
Right, you were airlifted out of the Blue Mountains. Apparently. Now, the way this game works is if no one asks questions, it's a very short game. So I just need a few questions to see whether Andrea was airlifted out of the Blue Mountains or whether she's lying. So who wants to go first? Yeah, hand up. What were you doing in the Blue Mountains? Good question.
I'd gone up for a day trip, so I was sightseeing, being a tourist.
Day trip, being a tourist in the Blue Mountains, fair enough. And yeah, another question. Oh, hang on. Where were you staying?
I was staying in Sydney, and I'd got the train up.
In Sydney, staying in Sydney. Anna, do you have a question? No. Any other over there, Liz? Yes. Why did you need to be airlifted? Yes.
Because I'd gone on my own, just decided something to do that day. And on the way up there, I started doing some research about where I was going, and read that it was a place where people often got lost, and that I needed to stay close to the paths and all this kind of thing. And I quite often go off and do things quite sort of out in the middle of nowhere on my own. So I thought, oh, what a load of rubbish, red tape, all that. And anyway, I went off walking and thought I knew where I was going, but I didn't.
Okay. Well, I'll stop that there. Any other questions? for? But yes.
How did you get from where you were to the Blue Mountains?
Yeah. How did you get from Sydney to the Blue Mountains?
Well, it ended up being I was stuck there for 3 days.
So you were stuck in the Blue Mountains for 3 days?
How did you get from where you were staying to the Blue
Oh, by train.
By
Took the train.
By train.
Yep.
Yes, Matt.
So lost for 3 days.
Yep.
What happened between you? How did you contact someone to get rescued? Basically?
Well, I didn't. It was just by luck that on that part of my trip where I was going, I was actually staying with relatives, so they knew I hadn't come back.
Okay.
But
Well, yeah. Let's take another question. Any more questions? Yeah. Up there. No, go on.
Yeah. Well, we all like doing things we shouldn't do, don't we? And I used to like going places where it said danger, do not cross, da da da. So it just made it all more exciting.
Time for one more question. Yeah. Okay. Question here, and then we'll put it to it.
Yes.
3 days. What did you do overnight?
It was very scary, but the place is full of spruce type fir trees, and there was lots on the ground, and there were sort of cavey places, and I decided each day I sort of stayed over the night time. Obviously I stayed where I was, stayed put, but during the day I was trying to get myself back, and unfortunately I was getting further. I obviously got further and further lost, because I never actually felt like I went to the same place twice.
Okay. Well, I think you've got enough information from that to decide. Right. So here we go. Now we're going to put it to the vote. Who thinks that Andrea was airlifted out of the Blue Mountains? Who thinks it's true? That's quite a lot. And who thinks she's lying? Well, I think you split the
it's a
room. I
split,
think it's
isn't
a split, 50-50. So some think you're lying and some think you're telling the truth. Andrea, were you airlifted out of the Blue Mountains or were you lying?
No, I got the train back.
You got the train back. Brilliant. So you made that whole story up. That was okay. Have you ever had to be airlifted from anywhere?
No.
No. Okay. Excellent. Well, there we go. Well, look, Andrea wins chocolate. Hang on, let me give you some chocolate. And can we give Andrea another massive round of applause? Thank you, Andrea. Right.